Alright, hello everyone, welcome to my ToB Learner Guide. In this one we're going to be focusing on range DPS role as a learner, so with a learner setup. So this is my learner setup. I'll be posting it in the description below as well. It's the same setup I use for all roles. Now in this case, because I'm ranging, you could ditch some of the gear. So given that I'm ranging Maiden and ranging Nilo, which is the term our DPS, essentially I'll be DPSing Maiden with my blowpipe and not freezing, and on Nilo I'll be ranging the crabs. So I'm gonna explain some of the basics, but I'm not gonna go into too much detail because I feel like if you wanted to learn how to ToB, you would watch other guides first and maybe work your way up to this one. This is a 416 raid, so we do not know these other two people who they are and if they're good or not. So for Maiden, I'll walk in and double hammer. Now as our DPS, you would ideally be standing south. It doesn't really matter which side you stand, honestly, as long as you kill the appropriate crabs. So I'm going to run in, hammer twice, and then run back and blowpipe. It's also a good idea to just camp your prey mage. You could take it off technically, but I don't think that's worth it. He threw blood, so I'm going to run away. And now, since I'm north DPS, I'll be killing the N1, which is this one that's going to spawn right here, and the N2, which is going to spawn right here. If I was south and I was DPSing, I would only kill S1, assuming my mages did a good job. So now they spawn, I'll right away start attacking them. And once I kill these two, yikes. This guy's struggling. Now, since my freezer froze the blood spawn, it's always nice to kill the blood spawns too. It helps your team immensely if you kill the blood spawns. It's a big nuisance. So I might actually go over there and kill this other blood spawn, because I don't think he's doing it. There we go. I'm going to go back north. See, I'm not trying to lose any DPS. I'm always attacking. Now this one should spawn. I'm going to attack it too. And you see my freezers did a good job here. They froze everything in the clump, so that's perfect. It's also a good idea to keep an eye on them. If you see one of the crabs is beyond the clump, like if he froze too early and the twos were over here, it might be a good idea to kill it for them. Or if you see that the crabs are about to go in, you could kill them too. Usually as a learner, you shouldn't bother. You should just keep attacking the boss. See here, I'm going to just help him out, maybe blow up at once. I'm going to use a ray. I'm going to use a potion here. Ideally, I should have brought my soul runes for blood barraging on Nilos, but it's fine. I should not need it. And now that's the end here. You could decide to melee it if you would like. I will melee it just because it's more fun. And you also save Zora scales. You can also see Hali to finish if you would like. Perfect. Now I'm just going to leave my Korama on here because I can't be asked. Ideally I should pick it up, but I don't care. And also with this setup, since you have 3 super combats, it's worth to just chuck them the whole time before each room. It's really nice. Now I'm a bloat. There's not much difference in terms of blow. You just do bloat. Maybe watching me might give you an idea if you're very low KC. If you're in the sub 10 KC, it might give you an idea of how I play. Essentially, the tiles you want to avoid is these exact corner ones, because if you ever stand there and you get footed, you're screwed. So you see how the way I path is I go like this. I run on the corner tiles, and I do not technically stand on this tile. If you understand pathing, that's how it works. Now I would whip a couple times and try to see Hali to finish. 1 one more whip. See Ali here. A nice trick is to look at his head. When his head starts moving, it means that you have 5 ticks to run away. Oh, that's gonna hurt. I think Steve will screwed. Oh, he's walking. We're fine. Now, there's also ways to greed, to flinch. There's a lot of advanced things you can do in bloat. I'm not doing any. I'm just playing it extremely safe, trying to survive. And that's a nice tip for you as well, is if you're doing any of the top rooms, it's always good to play safe and survive, because you'll get better purples that way, as opposed to trying to greed an MVP and dying, which is never worth doing, by the way. I'm gonna see Hallie early. Oh, I was late here. I'm gonna take a stomp. Oh, I did not. Cool. Someone died. It's quite a long bloat. You can see that run energy conservation is very nice too for bloat. It's not that essential when you have void, because you don't weigh too much, but once you get to bringing bandos, you waste so much that, like, if you run all the time, you'll run out of run energy before bloat is dead, and that might end up killing you. So see here, I'm gonna agree a little bit just because I can. And you see how I got to bloat before everyone else, so I got to sneak in an extra hit. Once bloat is dead, you can drop your salve, you don't need it anymore, and you can buy a stamina potion. It's always good to buy the stamina here. Sorry, 1 second. Sorry, I had to cough. It's unpleasant. It's always nice to buy your stamina here, especially as an iron, because if you end up wiping, at least you profit a stamina. I wear my range gear because I'm ranging. Also, you could take off your boots, but it's such a tiny DPS increase that I just don't bother. But if you feel like you want to, you can. It's no issue. Obviously, you want a range potion for this. I always camp Preserve when I was doing my learners. I think because we're not using Divine Pots, it's worth using Preserve. And the cost in terms of prayer is very minimal. You should also mark the rangers. Now, you could use rigor here. You could also use the 15%. I typically use the Hawkeye when I was learning. If you're willing to spend the extra prayer, it's worth using rigor. Definitely a big bonus. If you're doing trios, I think it's worth to at least use Hawkeye, Eagle Eye at the very minimum. But you could use rigor as well. Now, I'm not going to do anything advanced here. I'm not chinning. I'm not T-bowing the aggros. I'm just blowpiping green. Now, here's the double spawns. I know which ones the aggros are, so I'm going to kill them first and blowpipe everything else. With blowpipe, you have 2 ticks to react. Essentially, what I do is I look at my XP drop. If I see a 36 in range, that means I one-shot it in a 4-man. If I'm doing a trio, it would be 32 XP drop, and if I was doing a 5-man, it would be a 44 XP drop. So that tells me that I one-shot the crab, and I don't have to worry about it anymore. Oh, like spike. Now there are some specific ones you want to focus. And those are the aggressive ones. The way you can tell that a crab is aggressive is when it enters, it goes straight towards a teammate to attack it. Like this one here would have been aggressive, but I killed it. But this one here isn't aggressive. I'm not sure Steve-O's going to kill it. He did. I think the next one here is aggressive, but I can actually snipe this one. My memory serves me right. Oh, I didn't kill it. But you can see it's aggressive because it goes straight towards a teammate. You could pray melee on it if you see that. Ideally, I would have chinned that clump. Didn't have chins. So ranged role was my favorite role when I was learning ToB, to be honest. It's just so much more click intensive and there's just so much you can do. There's always something to attack. Your role is quite important too. A good ranger is going to make the Nilo room a lot cleaner, and the same thing goes for major. Melee isn't too bad because there's two of you, so if one of you does a decent job, it should be fine. Nope, I misclicked. Everything's dead. I'll take off my prayer. I'll repot up. Usually it's nice to leave a couple crabs alive at the end if the pillars are healthy, so you can blood blitz on them to get your health back. Now I would start with a double C Halley. You could also double claw. You can BGS if you brought a BGS. There's so much you can do here. They all have claws. Now I'll double C Halley. I think one guy has a Blood Fury. Range. Always do your offensive and defensive prayers first, and then do your gear. That's the best way to do it. You could pre-switch. However, I don't recommend doing that as learning. So I'm gonna cough again. God damn it. Yeah, I got COVID last week, so it's not pleasant. Cool. And what I like about this gear setup too is it's always four-way switches, which is very convenient. ToB is really good DPS here as well if you have it. You should be T-bowing if you have a T-bow. You could also blow pipe into T-bow. It all works. Same thing for Zarpus. You could T-bow Zarpus if you want to cheap out. And that's Nilo. At least I didn't die, so that's a good start. Now moving on to Soda Seg. I'll do 2-3. I went over about what these rules are before, so I'm just not going to repeat myself. You could do T-bow on entry, but given that this is a learner guide for beginners, I'm not going to do so. And I don't have my T-bow, so that doesn't help either. Let me just type sit in this chat quickly. Oh, I hammer-blocked it. That's unfortunate. This guy might die. And I saw the mage ball here coming to me. I'm not sure what their KCs are. I haven't even checked. I can check quickly. 57 KC. This guy's unranked. Oh shit. Okay. Well, I mean, it's still a decent raid. I'm chosen, so I'm going to stop at the third row. I do diagonals. I'm just not able to break that habit, to be honest. I'll try to. You could also do straight lines. Just make sure that you get to the tile. There's a lot of plugins that can help you for this, like the True Tile plugin is very good here if you have it. The ones that highlights the tiles that you put your cursor on is nice too. All those plugins would help you. Now I just realized I said 2-3 and I spec'd the first one, but I guess it doesn't matter too much. Range ball coming to me. Oh, I didn't see that mage ball. That's unfortunate. Now, ideally, you would flick on the last possible tick, but I'm not going to do that. Or I could, I guess. But I'm just being very, very lazy. Just not trying to do anything too advanced. I see that black ball coming to me. Yeah, I'm gonna repot up. This is actually kind of rough. Yeah, Steve will saw that. Oh boy, I'm gonna safe up here. A nice tip too is use your supplies. I know I'm quite cheap in terms of my supplies, but when learning, just use your supplies. It's like if you die, you'll lose so many points in the chest that you should have just used that extra brew. So it's a good habit to have. I hit. I'm gonna type a 1. We got ball. Interesting. The first ball I think we got. Alright, DD here. That was scary. I don't like that situation. Oh, okay. I guess we're duoing this. Here I need to take heat, which is not part of the learner setup. Thankfully I don't have to do it. Drop my bombs. I'm gonna oh, I have a lot of points. I'm gonna drop this too. Usually you should aim for 4 restores. I always buy 5 just because profiting a restore is amazing. But that's just me being cheap. Now you see here I have extra points, so I'm going to actually sip my super combat and buy an extra brew. And I'm going to drop a shard because I feel like these guys might need it. Hopefully they don't yoink my brew though. Perfect. Now I'm really stacked here. It's a lot of supplies. If I was a learner, this would be amazing. I guess we wait. And a surprisingly decent Nilo. Yeah, I should have probably helped Steve-O there, but I don't care. I'm lazy. Alright, get ready to hammer. Hammer twice. Oh, I forgot to drop a brew. I'm not used to doing that. I'm gonna cough again. Good thing I can mute. Now I'm gonna try something else here. I'm gonna blow pipe on the Screech Phase. Ideally, I think it's best if you melee the Screech Phase, and I've meleeed the Screech Phase in my other one for my learner guide. So in the S-Mage one, I meleeed instead of ranging it. But since this is more of a range-specific role, I think I'm going to try ranging it. And Blowpipe is still really good DPS on Zarpus, especially if you have someone with a BGS. The Blowpipe is just amazing. And we do have someone with a BGS, this guy here BGS for us, so that's good. Now it's an 8-tick cycle when he screeches, so that's 4 blowpipe hits per rotation. And he cannot look at the same spot twice, so you can run where he was previously looking. So you see screeches, I'm going to agree to a couple blowpipe hits, I'm going to off here. Now it's on me, so I can't do that. I'm going to do 2 here. And now I'm in cycle 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I just keep this cycle going. It was a weird lag spike. I did not like that. Oh, dragon arrows on the floor. I probably got decent damage here by doing so, 28%. Blowpipe is OP, very consistent. If I had a Divine Pot, I would have probably had a lot more damage. Now here I'm second in the orb order, which is strange for our DPS, but essentially Steve specs twice, and I pick up the staff. And I spec twice as well. That was a strange lag spike. No idea what just happened there. I think that's mine. It's Monka. Humble 5, not a humble. He almost got fused, by the way. That's when you die from a pillar and the mage ball at the same time. Very unfortunate to happen. But at least this is more representative of a learner ToB. There's a lot more lower KC people. The last one I did with the S-Mage, there was just a lot of people with higher KC. And the raid was just way too fast. Oh, this is not good. This usually doesn't happen often. I should not have done 2 whip hits there. I'm just going to save up the full. Now you could do, in theory, 3.5 trident hits per rotation, but I'm just going to do 3 and be very cautious. When she spreads her legs, that's when I click. Now watch her health, she should die here. I'll move. Go loot that brew so they don't take it from me. It's also nice to pray range here. Wait for it to move. Click. That's the 4-tick cycle. I have to stop trying to scythe walk. Oh, that's unfortunate. I got zapped. Oh shit, someone got a hammer. Damn it, I'm scythe walking again, dude. I'm not able to break that cycle. It's a really sick item, dude, for that guy. It's pretty cool. I got zapped again. It's unfortunate. It's okay, that's why we bring Bruise. Always a nice habit to save up the full each time you lose health. It'll save you in the long run. See, if I was low HP there, I might have died by that zap, so... And 35%. I'm gonna off, pray mage. Back to killing this one. Red crab. And it's always nice to just kill the red crab. It's very helpful for your team. It heals her. And it actually heals her for half the HP. So in theory, if the red crab has half your max hit, it's better to just... less than half your max hit, it's better to just scythe... to hit the Verzik. But as a learner, you just want to kill it because it's a lot easier to do damage on the red crab than it is to Verzik. And it's also nice if you just keep faffing around. Oh, that was very unfortunate. I'm not gonna hit that one because there's a chance I get screwed over. Here we're probably gonna skip, so I'm gonna off. Whip it once. Whenever the shield disappears, this is when you can now attack. There is a cycle to hitting it. Alright. Attack. Oh, I forgot this guy's tanking. I should probably sidestep his hits. Pass the tank. And that's fine. You can pass the tank at first. I would still recommend trying your best to learn. Like, if you're in a situation where you're with... if you're doing 416, first of all, just try it. Who cares? If you're with friends and everyone's alive, you can mention to them, guys, I'm going to try to learn tanking. And they can just always safe up and sidesteps and as a result. For tanking, I kind of hope I get tanking soon. That's true, I can't... I'm a Trident. Always run clockwise. Good habit to have. Now I'm following this guy, so I might have to... oh. I don't know what happened there, but I saved him. I'm gonna have to watch out for my pathing. Oh, oh, oh. Now, if you're tanking, the best way is to just trade 1 for 1. So you attack, you walk under. When Verzik does her attack, you attack once and you walk under. That's the best way to learn to tank. Eventually, you can start sneaking in 2 whip hits between tanks, or between Verzik autos, but you'll get there eventually. There's no stress. Then we got NATOs. I'm gonna send my Sea Hallies. Oh, it's on me again. I always get the green ball. These These two crabs are on me. I'm gonna pop them. And there we go. Not bad, Verzik. 25 minutes, that's more reasonable time. No purples, unfortunately, but that's fine. I'm curious if I MVP'd. No, Steve-O got it. But yeah, that's our DPS, I guess. So I'll move on to the next role now. Hope you enjoyed watching.